Excel has loads of items on the Paste Special menu, but did you ever wonder what they actually did? In this video, I'm going to show you how some of these are extremely useful and you're definitely not using all of them. My name is David Benham and I love talking about some cool stuff in spreadsheets that people don't know exist. All right, so let's get started. So I'm sure you know that if you have some cells that are linked to a formula, if you delete them, they will go away like that. And that's not what you want. This is using the trim function. So you can probably copy and Paste Special, click on there and choose values. This is the standard thing, but actually a couple of things about that. Firstly, it just got quicker because Excel introduced a new keyboard shortcut. You can copy that and Paste Special values. That is the same as Control-Shift-V. So add Shift to make it special and that will paste values. But the other thing is, I don't think paste values is enough, because if I copy these and I paste values here, then it will convert dates into numbers. Now, the reason why that does it is because Excel stores dates as numbers. They just look like dates because of the formatting, but forget about that. The point is, no one ever in the history of Excel has ever wanted to see a date that looks like this. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to use the other thing that I think is better than paste values, and I think what the default should be, which is if you copy and paste special, you have this one, values and number formats. This is so much better. That will just keep the number formats and not just dates, obviously percentages, dollars, etc. as well. Other things that you might want to do, so you do have the ability to use this. So let's say I want to apply this formatting to some other column. You can do that. You can do that as well here. And a lot of people don't know that you can actually double click it. And you can do this and you can do that. Note that my dates have gone away annoyingly. Press escape and then you can undo it, because to Excel, pasting includes the number format, which is not ideal. Now, I know this is not a paste special, but one that I actually use is copy and paste special. And here you can choose formats. I use this a lot. So paste special formats is the same as using the format painter, because that's essentially what you're doing. And then it automatically locks it in place. So if you do it again, paste special formats, then that will do it again like that. You have another shortcut as well. So Control-Shift-V makes you take the values. If you want to make a paste special, you can use Control-Alt-V. This has been around for 20 years. Control-Shift-V is new, so it's only for Microsoft 365 and Office 2024 subscribers, or on Google Sheets. Control-Alt-V is different on Google Sheets. That's actually copy and paste formats. But in Excel, it is open up this. I use this all the time. I think it's a great shortcut. It saves you a lot of clicks. Let's say that you want to make every one of these costs negative. So instead of writing minus in every cell, what you can do is you can have a -1 in a cell and you can copy it. And then here, you can paste special. Click on there. You can also use the shortcut and you have multiply. And if you press OK, watch what happens. So it will make all of these negative numbers, multiplying them. Not a formula, it will multiply it like this by -1. However, it has taken the formats of that. So if we don't want that to happen, we can paste special here. And you can choose multiply here and any of these as well. So multiply and values and number formats, for example, will keep that number format the way that it was, but multiply it by -1. Now you also had all of the 4 operations, add, subtract, multiply, divide. Honestly, for me, multiply and -1 is by far the most common one that I use. I use it when you download a bank statement, for example, and it will have the debits and credits as the same sign and you want to combine them into one column. I'll use it a lot for that. The others, I'm not going to say I've never used them. I've used add a few times. I've very rarely used the other two, but it is worth knowing they exist. So let's keep going. If you have data validation, you can copy that and paste special, Control-Alt-V, validation. It doesn't say data validation, which is an interesting choice, but that will just take the validation, which is the same as here. So I use that one quite a bit. And then also, not quite copy and paste, but find and select, go to special, really useful, find and select. Then you can go to validation and you can select all of the validation that you have, and you can see that they're in different places. So if you are cleaning up data validation, using a combination of both of those features can be really, really useful. All right, some other things. Let's say that you want to copy this into another worksheet. This is one of my favorite ones. So you can actually select some data and you can copy it. Then you go to a new worksheet and you can paste it. But that has not made my columns the same width that I want. So you actually have another thing you can do. You can actually go to Paste Special and choose this one, column widths. Love that one. What that will do is it will paste nothing except what you have done there. Now you can do this on its own. For me, it would make sense for this column widths to be also like something you can do at the same time as one of these, but I often have to do both of them one after the other. Otherwise, the thing that I'm trying to do doesn't quite work. So other things in this list. So formulas, this is when you can not take the formats, but take the formulas. Not very common that I'll use that. You also have formulas and number formats, same as values and number formats. We've gone through these ones, comments and notes. Yeah, that'll just take your comments. Very rarely use these. All except borders, does what it says on the tin. I don't think that needs to be its own option. I don't think I've ever used it, but you can do it. And these ones we've gone through. All merging conditional formats, that means that it will take the conditional formats from the new cells, but keep the original ones. Again, something I don't think I've used very much, but this one is very interesting, these two. So transpose. Let me first make these as dates. That kind of annoys me. Control-Shift hashtag is my favorite way to do dates. That way it's got 3 letters for the month, which means even if you're an American, you won't break these dates. So what can you do? Well, if you copy these and you want to flip it so the rows become columns, you can actually go to Paste Special and you can choose transpose. I will do that. Pretty useful, but you can also do it with a formula equals transpose. Translate, by the way, great new function. Does what it says on the tin, translates languages, but transpose will do this. It will flip it. Note that here has broken the number format, so Control-Shift-3 will get those back. But yeah, the difference between these two is that, well, the formatting hasn't come with, but also more importantly, it is live. So if I change this to London, we're going to see a change over here, but not in the earlier one. There you go. And it hasn't changed in here because here it's fixed values. This uses dynamic arrays, so it works in Excel 2021 or more recent. This works in all versions of Excel. I use both of them for different reasons. We also have something called skip blanks. So here I have a blank in row number 4 and row number 5, which is just a small one. But if I copy this, I can click in this cell and I can Paste Special, and then I can choose values, say, and skip blanks. That's a tick box option. Press OK, and it will keep in between in there and do it around it. Usually the behavior would be this. It would get rid of the existing one, but in this instance it actually keeps it if you use skip blanks. And then you can do any one of these, like formulas, for example, there. So some other things that aren't quite in that menu that are worth knowing about are you can copy this and paste. You only get this icon in here. You don't get it in Paste Special, interestingly, but you can paste as a picture or as a linked picture. A linked picture allows you to write some text here, and that will actually change in this one, whereas a picture will just do it static. So paste as picture. Here, if I edit that to Hanoi again, I will see that it changes in the linked picture, but not in this one. So a linked picture can be a good tool to use for kind of a data visualization or something like that, because it's linked to your original source data. Another thing in Paste Special is you can copy this, and if I go to a new workbook, Control N, and I paste it, it will change my colors. But I can do a Paste Special through one of these. So Paste Special, and I can choose all using source theme, and that will keep the original theme. By the way, when you paste in any part of Office, you get this pop up, and here you can get directly to these things. Some of them are a bit different, like I showed you the picture and the linked picture. These can be worth exploring as well. I use it not for Paste Special in Excel because that's Control-Alt-V for me all the way, but I use it in other apps like PowerPoint, Word, etc. And it's worth being aware of. The other one is Paste Link. So if you paste a link, it will just do like this, equals the cell, like that. Also works on multiple cells, so copy, and then here I can go to Paste Special and Paste Link, and it will do that. Each cell is individually linked. It's not linking it all as an array. All right, well, that's what I wanted to show you in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. My name is Dave Banama, and I have tons of videos on Excel, PowerPoint, Google Sheets, Zoom, Teams. So if you like this kind of content, check out my other videos. Thanks for watching.